Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck, and this is Edgewater, episode 7. And in the last episode, we were just harvesting this wheat field, field number 4, and trying to get, let me turn this on real quick, trying to get as much of it as taken care of as we can. I'm going to flip to the map so I can show you where we're at. So this is field 4, all planted with wheat. We are harvesting, and if you watched the last episode, which was a lot of me rambling, you may have seen me do it, but if not, if you skip that episode, which is totally fine, then I'm catching you up here. I basically did an outline first, then broke it off into 2 squares, finished off this kind of longer rectangle over here, and then I've got this rectangle that's left here. So we're just going to finish up the harvest here real quick. We've actually got it set up square enough that we probably could use a worker if we wanted to. And I know that we do need to run back to the shop to get our bags of seed and a little bit of fertilizer as well. So we will maybe do that here in a second. I'm just going to get that lined up. And then also, we have not been swathing the straw on this because I just don't have the money to buy a baler at this point. But now that it's set up square, also I really don't like getting bales when you do these weird shaped fields because you get these weird tracks everywhere that are harder to pick up. But now that we've got just this kind of square shape on here, I'm actually going to turn this on and enable the swath for this, and we're just going to leave these rows on here swathed. Yep, and there's our straw swath coming out the back. And this will just allow us, if we want to, buy a baler or just lease a baler real quick just to get some straw bales on the farm for future use. We can. And if we decide that we don't want to, we can just plow over it, and I believe it will go back into the soil. So we're not going to leave it everywhere. We're not going to do a lot of straw on this, but you never know. Straw bales are useful occasionally for animals, and mainly animals. I can't think of anything else we'd use them for, or just to sell for a little bit of extra cash. So we're going to go ahead and just dump some straw on this field, and that way we've got it available in the future if we do want to use it. And the big difference here is as you kind of end out the row, you've got to kind of inch forward like that so that you don't have a giant lump. I mean, we got a little lump, but not too bad at the end of your row that makes it hard to bale. So then we just loop around, and we're going to go back. And I'll probably do one more row manually, and then maybe we'll just throw a worker on this and let the worker finish this off while we grab the tipper, take a load off of the harvester, and then maybe run back to the shop, because that will just ensure that the worker will be able to finish the rest of this. We're going to just rotate around, get a nice shot of this harvester doing its job here. That looks pretty sweet. I love the dust that comes out of the back. Not just the stuff that's hitting the ground, but like the kind of cloud. Because I think harvesters do throw up a ton of dust when they're doing this. And it's a nice looking field. You can see the silos off in the background there. Not from our farm, because our farm is over there. We're getting real close to this right hand side. Let me just make an adjustment. Hopefully we don't miss any there. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on a worker now. And that should still be going. Yep. So we're going to fire up our New Holland T7. And we're at 84%, so we're going to just fill this thing up, take it back to the silo, and dump it off. Let him get turned around here, and then we'll run back to the shop with our T7 and pick up that trailer that we loaded up in the episode 5, I want to say, to bring that material back out to the farm or to whatever field we want to plant next. Or first, I guess, is probably a better word. We haven't really planted anything yet. We've just been harvesting for 6 episodes. But this is the end of the harvest, so I'm happy to move on to some field prep. I mean, it is September, so we'll have to see. But we don't have a cultivator yet. and I don't think I bought the cultivator yet, and I know that we need one, so that'll be kind of our next big thing, although we can direct drill. So, oops, yeah, we're at 100%. I was like, did I get too far ahead? No, he just put the pipe in because we are full. Yeah, T7 is about the right size for this. I didn't want to get too big of a tipper because then it's just unrealistic to pull it around with the size of tractor that we have here. It does do it, and it can handle it, but it does take a little bit more giddy up to get this tipper going, which makes sense. This is a lot of weight in the back here. Let's get our turn signal put on, because traffic is crazy out here in Saskatchewan. All right, and then we're going to just get here and then head down the road to our farm right here. So I like the location of our yard compared to the fields that we have, because we are really just right in the middle of all of this. Oh, and I haven't moved that auger over yet, I don't think. So, oops, I have a blinker on. All right, anyway. So, yes, you can see in this silo, if we get close enough, this one's got 26.8 thousand liters of flax. This one has 52,000 liters of peas. And I love that these silos tell you what's in them, and they're not multi-fruit, because I mean, the multi-fruit is nice for use. Gotta turn the sounds of the wheels around the ground. Get the wheels on the ground, buddy. There we go. Yeah, this is... I don't think if these silos were like an inch taller, we wouldn't be able to use this auger. We'd have to buy the bigger one. So I think we got the right piece of equipment, but just barely. No room for error here. So anyway, I like these silos because we really can only hold 3 crops at a time. So we will have to sell some of these off depending on what crops we want to plant on the next season here. That's pretty good. Is that lined up over the lid? Let's get a little bit to the right. That looks pretty good. So we'll turn that off and hop out. And then this one obviously is empty, so we will back this up to here. And it looks like we'll be kind of the same on the wheat as we were on the flax. You know, right around 27,000 liters. Because we're dropping 22 in it now. There we go. Yep, and it's not ending up on the ground, which is a good sign, and you can see it coming out of the top there. Just barely, got to kind of squint, but sorry for this. This tree is in my way. All right, so, whoops. Why did that not want to go in? Did I get off? Where's my trigger? Did my auger move? What happened? It didn't take it all. Must have had a weird angle or bumped it or something when I was trying to get the camera angle there. Alright, seems to be going now. Move forward, and then we'll just check our... I suppose since I was up here, how's that guy doing? Doing fine. Okay. So wheat, yeah, exactly 22,000. So all the wheat made it in. Good to know. We're just going to drop the trailer right there because we're going to need to take it back out to the other field, but I need to bring... There we go. We'll zoom in, which is nice. I'll wait for that car. And then this is our dirt road here to get back to the shop. Oh, still took out the stop sign. Oh well. Alright, so we're going to run down to the shop, bring that trailer back, and then by then, hopefully the harvester will be done. We can run over there, pack it up, bring it back as well, and then decide where we want to start prepping fields. So since we're on this long straight road again, let me just check the deals today. Nothing crazy. Let's check our garage. We've got our tractor, our harvester, a trailer, a header, a seeder, header trailer, and a belt system. Yeah, we don't have a cultivator yet. I think we looked at that in episode 5. And there is one that is probably the one we'll need to buy. And then we can at least seed and plant. But I really wanted to get like a weeder. So we didn't have to spray, because spray is so expensive. Yeah, I'm probably just going to get a manual weeder and know that we will have to manually weed all the fields after we plant them. And I would like to get a roller as well. So that's like 3 pieces of equipment that I don't know how we're going to afford. We might end up taking out a loan until we can sell off some of this crop. Short-term loan, of course, because we do have grain and stuff in our silos that should help offset the cost of these things. So we have 2 fields that are ready to drill now. The ones that are directly east and southeast of our yard, because we bought them cultivated. And then we'll have 2 other fields. Such a tiny little trailer to be sitting behind this big tractor, but didn't want to spend a lot of money on a trailer, so it makes sense. So this is a lot of seed because we bought tons of seed. We did not buy that much fertilizer, so we'll have to see how the fertilizer holds up as we're going, because we might need a spreader too if we're not going to fertilize. Well, there's 2 stages, I guess, so we can't do all of our fertilization just with the planter anyway. So I guess what I'm saying is we're gonna have to plant one of the 2 fields that's already cultivated first, and that will probably use up all the fertilizer we have, because if you remember, I bought 2 bags and then I accidentally unloaded it and it disappeared on me. And then this tiny little bit of fertilizer, that 16 liters there, is all we have left of the second 2 bags we put in, because when those first 2 bags, when I recovered them, I only got 16 liters back somehow, some way. So, oh, this is 19, right? Yep, this is our field. Since nothing's in here, we can certainly plant here. I am tempted to start planting on 19 because we can direct drill. I would rather cultivate first, and this gives us a field to cultivate over the winter when we can't do much else, so it would make more sense to do one of the cultivated fields. But since we can direct drill, I don't technically need to. And if we just wanted to get some crops in the ground just to get some money flowing in, we certainly could do that. I'm just going to leave this here. And so here are, let me grab our tipper, and then since they're right across the street, we'll stop by 40 and 41 and see which one we maybe want to plant first. And also I have to check the calendar and see I don't know that there's a ton that we can plant in September, but I'd love to get one winter crop in, and then we can field prep the rest. Because there's going to be a lot of cultivating that happens, but I'd like to rotate the crops. Okay, so directly across the way there is 41. Let me just come up to my map. So 41 is quite a bit bigger than 40, but it is cultivated. It is covered in weeds. Now this 40 here is already double fertilized, or 41 is not fertilized at all. Well, I guess that answers it. We have fertilizer in the planter, so we must start on 41, and then when we run out of fertilizer, we can just plant 40, and then we'll spend time. Oh, and we got a lime 19 and 4 as well. So I guess that answers it. 41 is the first one we're gonna, whoops, sorry dude, Oh, didn't hit you. Barely made it. And yeah, so busy time on the farm. Turn it over. These are 4 pretty decent sized fields. Number 4 and number 40 are our smallest, but they still take a reasonable amount of work. And then I just realized I drove right past our field. So this is not our wheat field here. Let me wait till these cars go by. And another wreck. Come on, guys. Trying to get some work done here. Thanks for slowing down, but wouldn't have happened had I not missed my turn, so that one's on me. And our header trailer is right over here too. I see on the map. Nearly full grain tank. Good to hear. So yeah, there's our trailer. And we'll pop down here, and as it starts to refresh those. Yeah, so here's our, 8 or 9 straw swaths. Maybe we'll end up with 10 total. Who knows? Could be a handful of bales. We'll have to see if we do get a baler and what that looks like and how we would transport those back, because we need arms, or it's expensive to get into bales, I guess is what I'm saying. It'd be nice to have some just on hand, but we'd be leasing everything. So I don't know that I necessarily want to go that route, but we'll see. Will this guy turn around, or is he going to stop long enough to unload here? Good. I like it when they stop and unload rather than going on to the next row. I'm sure he could finish, so I'm not terribly worried about that. But so we know we need a cultivator. We know we need a weeder. Let me drop this trailer here, and we will double back up here. We'll just trust that worker to finish it off and turn off the harvester for us, and then we'll bring that back. So I guess, let me just look in the shop real quick. We're ready to go to plant 41. We should have most everything we need to plant 40. If I want to manually weed, I will need to do that the following month. So I would need a manual weeder as well. So let me get, I know which one I really like, but I'm branching out and willing to try some new things. So I want to look and see what's available. Pulls out small grown weeds between crops, improving the field state. This can only be used in the first growing stage of crops. Additionally, you can seed with this tool. So this is a 9 meter. 9 meters, and it lets you seed. So we could do grass or oilseed radish. Ooh, that's interesting. Or canola. I mean, I don't know why we would plant with this. We have a perfectly good planter, but good to know that we have that option. And there's a big difference between 18,000 and 41. So these 41, 51, I know 51 here is 9 meters, but lets you do small and medium weeds. And this one is small grown weeds and lets you plant as well, but up to 12 meters. So 3 extra meters doubles the cost. Or we can go up to this one, which is the same 9 meters, but lets you do small and medium. So this is kind of like, oh no, I didn't get it at small, I've got to do it at medium. But I think we're just early enough, we're just going to have to trust ourselves to do it in small. So this is 9 meters for 18,000. I really like this one. This blue one that lets you do it, but it's 45,000. And I like it because it's 15 meters, so it's less times over the field, but I think we're just going to have to stick with this $18,000 one here because we also need to buy a cultivator. So 18,000 plus. Where is the cultivators? I was actually on them. So this one's 5 meters and also 5 meters. Why would we? Oh, because this one waits on the tractor and this one has wheels. 5 to 8 meters. 47, 48. And you're just 6 meters. 51. Shallow cultivators, seed bed creation. Yeah, and these are way too big. I mean, 320. I think our tractor's 310 to get to 8.4 meters. What is our tractor? 313? No, I don't want to push it that close. So yeah, I think we had decided on about 48,000 for this 6 meter one. 47. Now this does go to 8 meters. I guess what's the you're adjustable and you're straight up 6 meters. So 320, yeah, 250 at 6 meters. This one's 320, which is out of our reach for our New Holland. So we'd probably be looking at this 51. I do care about that 1 meter. We could do this one and save ourselves $3,000, but losing 1 meter on a cultivation is 15, 20 extra minutes of field as you're doing all those rows. So I think this is the one. So 51, 61, $70,000. $69,000 if we were to buy this flatline cultivator and that weeder, and that would get us pretty much everywhere we need to go. And then we could buy the fertilizer spreader or more fertilizer for planting the other 2 fields as we sell the flax and the other crops over the winter, because this is going to take us right down to pretty much 70 grand. Like, you know, we're going to have like $2,000, but I think that's what we need to do. So let's get this 6 meter one, 250. We've got plenty of horsepower for it, which I like. So we'll go ahead and buy that. And then let's go back to the weeders. Manual weeders, where are you? And we're just going to do the $18,000 one. It's 9 meters. It'll be fine. And yep, we've got $2,023 left to our name. Okay. So this thing is he done? He's done. Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and unload that then. I was going to drive back and get those pieces of equipment, but I might do that off camera between episodes just so you don't have to see me drive to the shop 3 times in the same episode, because that's a little bit redundant. But at least you got to see the rest of the harvest or close to it. With this, he didn't even put his pipe out. Come on, dude. And man, our New Holland is dirty. I really wanted to get a sprayer to clean that off as well, but we don't have the $5,000 that we would need, and I think I overshot. No, this might be about right. Let me back up a little bit more. Yeah, there wasn't really that much left. I'm gonna turn this one off. And let's go pack this up so we can fold it now, because we're done harvesting for the year. Ugh, really want to wash this. Because I heard another YouTube farmer talk about it, and he basically said that the paint damage, like the maintenance and the repair costs don't change, obviously, when you spray it, but the paint damage does. And obviously we know painting is the most expensive thing you can do on your equipment, needing to paint them. So we're going to get this lined up without destroying our neighbor's crop if we can help it, and get this snapped on there. This pole is not in a great spot. I should have probably parked farther down the road, but we'll let that do its thing. So it is going to save us money on painting the equipment later if we keep it clean. But Is it really worth taking out a loan of $5,000 just to buy a power washer? Oh, yeah, I always forget this thing is so far up. All right. So we're going to come into the field and turn around here. And then obviously we would need to lease the baler too at some point in time to get those going. So let's bring this back to the farm and we'll decide, because I don't think we have any loan yet. Maybe we can just wash our equipment when we sell that first bit of flax here in the next month. It's all because we bought that extra field 40, which we probably didn't need to do, but it's double fertilized and cultivated and ready to rock, so I can't really say no to that, especially when it's so close to our field here. All right, let's just take a look. We have 0 money out on the loan. Obviously, we spent $1.4 million in August, and then just an extra $3,000 today on seeds and fertilizer. Did we make a little bit of money? Oh yeah, that's because we sold the land. We bought the land, sold the land because we swapped those 2 fields. So numbers are a little skewed because of the land sale, but basically lots and lots of red. But you know what? We need to take care of our equipment. So $5,000. Thank you very much, bank. I will pay it back. It's a micro loan. Construction, buildings, tools. I can't believe this power washer is almost $5,000. I mean, I know it is because it always has been, but so we'll just drop this kind of right here next to the beginning of the, and we're just going to spray this down because we're storing it for the winter. It needs maintenance too, but I not in a place where I can pay for the maintenance yet. But look at how dirty this is. It did a lot of harvesting for us. 3 big fields, flax, peas, and the wheat. It deserves at least a nice wash. We'll maintenance it before the next harvest when we have a little bit more money. Same thing for the header. Let's keep this equipment nice and clean. Yeah, I know we're getting away from the hose. That looks way better, and we're probably going to need to spray off our tractor and our tipper here in a second as well. So we'll bring those over next, dump that into the auger, and get those sprayed down and parked up, and then we will go get our equipment, and in the next episode we'll be able to get to actual work in the fields and getting ready for the next crop. So let's take a little bit wider so we can make sure we can make this corner. And I know originally I said I was going to park this in that other building, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to pull through as much as I would want to with that. So we're just going to park this here. We will just leave the header trailer hooked up. Not the best parking job in the world, but it will suffice. So let's go ahead and get that closed, because we shouldn't need to pull through anymore. Can you close, Mr. Door? There it goes. All right, so let's get back over to here, fire this up, bring this back, and we will get this dumped and sprayed off. And then we will probably call that a wrap. But that's a nice looking section of bales. It won't be too hard to pick up because they'll all be lined up straight. It won't be too hard to collect. We can probably lease a little baler for the $2,000 that we have, and we shouldn't need any more seeds, at least. Well, we will need more fertilizer, but that's a job for the spring. We can plant, weed those 2 fields that are already cultivated, and then get busy cultivating this other field. Yeah, I think we've got a good plan for going through the winter, and then by the time March rolls around, we'll be ready to plant the other 2 fields, hopefully. So, and we got 9,000 liters here, so we're actually going to be closer to 30,000 liters where I had guessed 27 earlier in the episode, so that's good. 3,000 extra liters of. Let me just get this line up. 3,000 extra liters of wheat is nothing to sneeze at. That's gonna pay for our power washer, hopefully. So, get this going. Perfect. Get that dumped in. So our little farm is coming together. Little farm, big fields, I think is kind of where we're at. This is working out well. I know we're not going to need the tipper for a while either, but I think I'm going to park it outside for now. We'll maybe swap it out next episode when we get that cedar out. We can park this tipper over in that other building. But tipper got some good use. Carton between the two. It wasn't as dirty as some of the other equipment, which makes sense. Let's get the tires cleaned off here. But our tractor has done plenty, so let's get this sprayed down too. Want to keep this brand new New Holland looking sparkly and great, ready to rock. Yeah, overall that wasn't too bad. But it was really the harvester. The harvester needed some work. So I'm gonna just leave this tipper right here. And then we will, for now, leave this right here. All right, well, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm really happy with how the farm is coming together. I'm excited to get some of the new crops planted and to start doing some actual field work now that the harvest is done. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.